What's up, guys? Hopefully all of you are doing well. Today we're going to be making some simple smothered potatoes with peppers and onions. This dish is really easy to make and easy to take to a brunch for sharing. Also, I've updated the LAUSD coffee cake topping recipe. This video and recipe is already up on my channel, but I did make some corrections to it, and I'm going to walk you through that as well. Let's get into it. I'm going to start the recipe off by cutting up, or I should say slicing, my onions and peppers. I have a really huge large bell pepper and a green bell pepper and some onions. You can use any type of bell pepper you like. When I talk about technique, I'm talking about basically how things cook together and how things cook down. These peppers, as you can see, are sliced pretty small, which means they're going to cook faster. And I know that going in. If you're going to need a longer cook time, you might want to cut them a little bigger. So I had a brunch to go to yesterday, and I started this early in the morning. I needed my coffee, and this is one of my favorite creamers now. I use it all the time. These Califia products I'm in love with them. They're dairy free. They're popular in the vegan community and vegan cuisine. This is my favorite coconut almond milk blend. This is not sponsored, but yeah, I found this and I like it in my iced coffee. So had to get that together, and then I continued on with cutting up my potatoes. I cut the potatoes rather large. They're about 3/4 of an inch in diameter. If you cut them smaller, same rule applies. They're going to cook faster. I needed a little bit more time in the kitchen because I was making coffee cake and doing other stuff, so I cut them larger. In the skillet, a very hot skillet over about medium-high heat, I have about 2 to 3 tablespoons of grapeseed oil. You can use the oil of your choice. But the whole point of this is I'm trying not to use as much oil. So I was dealing with about 5 pounds of potatoes, and I made 2 batches. So the potatoes, to keep them from oxidizing while I was cooking, I left the remainder of them in some water in a bowl. That's it. So I seasoned up the potatoes. You can season them up any way you like. Of course, I'm using some Grand Diamond all-purpose seasoning. I used some dried thyme and some granulated garlic, which I lost the clip of. But yeah, reach in your cabinet to see what you have down in there, and you can, use whatever you like. Salt, pepper, even some red pepper flakes. Remember, when you hear the word smother, that means during most of the cooking time, the product is going to be covered. Whether it's in the oven or on top of the stove, it's covered. With this particular technique, I let the potatoes, because they're cut rather large, I let them cook about halfway through before adding the peppers and onions. So I check the potatoes and stick a fork. If I get some resistance, okay, they're halfway done. So then I go ahead and add the peppers and onions. That way they'll finish together and the peppers and onions won't be cooked to death. Now, if you like them that way, you would add the peppers, onions, and the potatoes together, cover them, and let everything smother together. It's just your peppers and onions will be a little bit more limp. I like a little texture, so that's why I do it this way. Now, as a result of using less oil, your potatoes, some of them, may stick to the bottom a little bit. Don't panic. Just use a couple of tablespoons of broth. I use some vegetable broth just to quickly deglaze the pan at the end of the cooking process. Not a lot, just a little, maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons. And that'll make you feel a little better about using less oil. But if you used more oil to begin with, you won't have this problem. Those potatoes are done. But either way, whatever works for you or whatever you've learned, you can use either way. You just got to know how to do it. And that's it. Smothered potatoes with peppers and onions, done. Enough for 10 people. It was about 10 people at the brunch. Yeah. Along with the smothered potatoes, I also took a pan of the LAUSD coffee cake that most of us here who grew up in LA grew up eating at school, and I made some corrections. What I did was update the topping recipe. I got some feedback saying that if they didn't use nuts, their topping was sinking. So now I just corrected it. We got cold butter. All right, and we put all of the dry ingredients on top of the cold butter, and we work that butter into the dry ingredients. So all you have to do, if you do this by hand, I had pain through my wrist and arm right in that area. So I stopped, I grabbed my food processor and pulsed until the butter was the size of peas. You can also use a pastry cutter as well. I've made 6 coffee cakes like this within the past 4 days. So it gave me a chance to really revamp the recipe. I also changed the cooking time. By the way, if you have some favorite recipes of mine that you have screenshot, if I were you, I would go back and make sure that I haven't revised your favorite recipe. Some of the recipes I have revised, okay, based off of feedback, or I've made it again and decided, oh, I like this or I like that. So I have made some changes to some of the recipes on the website. The brunch was fun. Everybody brought their dish. We all ate to our fill: champagne, orange juice, vodka, cranberry, whatever was your pleasure. And we just took some time to catch up. If you've made any of my recipes in the last few months, please send me a photo with your first name and the state where you live so that I can include you in the last video for 2018. Thank you all for joining me. You know I appreciate it when you come cook with me and hang out. Don't forget, this recipe and others can be found at gdseasoning.com. And I'll see you next time.